McClellan Bagpipes by North Carolina artisan bagpipe maker Roddy McClellan from Eust in Scotland. They don't strive to be the biggest, fastest, or the cheapest. They do, however, meticulously craft a small number of warm and stable-sounding instruments of heirloom quality. Roddy has followed this philosophy for over 30 years and continues to evolve with innovations like the Elevation Chanter, designed with North American bands in mind, providing a lower pitch, rich harmonics, and strong, clear projection. Elevation Chanters, along with chanter reeds from Adrian Melvin, provide a stable platform for a thick band sound without big oval holes. Check out BespokeBagpipes.com for more information. McClellan Bagpipes, born in Scotland, made in the USA. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Chanarant Podcast. My name is Josh. With me today, two bagpipe podcasting legends. We got the man, the myth himself, Big Rab from the Big Rab
Josh.
Show.
How's it going? Are you keeping well, man?
I'm doing well. And of course, we have our good friend Jimbo from the Droning On podcast, which we talk about on our show fairly frequently. Hi, Jim.
Woo!
Hello. For the sake of consistency, we will change my name to Little Jim.
Little Jim. Okay, perfect.
Big Rab,
All right.
and Little Jim.
Big Rab, Little Jim, and I will be average-sized Josh. We read into
Perfectly
that.
average Josh.
You read into that however you may. That's it's entirely up to y'all.
There you
But,
go.
yeah,
I'm
some of
probably
you-
the shortest out of all of you, though. Like Josh, you're like 7 foot tall, aren't you? And
Yeah, I'm a tall boy.
Jim, you're about 6, aren't you?
I doubt that's the reading into it that anybody's doing right now, though, Rab, so I wouldn't worry about that.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I do remember when I was over in the UK having to duck through a lot of doors. But then again, of all the bands I play with, I end up playing with Ballybreast, Jason Black. Jason Rab. He was the pipe major at the time, and that dude's even taller than me. That dude's definitely like 7 feet tall.
He's a big fella. Yeah.
But some of you will notice that our good bearded friend, Mr. Andy Fusco, is not with us here today. He is not feeling well. So we wish him a speedy recovery because I have to play a gig with him this weekend. So hopefully he's not hacking up a lung mid-bagpiping. And he'll probably...
I'm out of here. If Andy's not coming on the show, I'm leaving.
Oh, that's going to be the best episode ever, right? We got no Fusco. I'm just kidding. He's probably in the chat right now. But welcome everyone to Chanarant Podcast. If you didn't know, this is an explicit show, so you have 5 seconds to listen to something else. That's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rab, you never get to do it on your show. You want to take the honor?
Oh, please, yes. Right. La 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 la. Fuck! There we go.
Yes. I wanted to apologize too.
Thank you, Josh.
I was catching up on your show and I caught that voicemail I sent you the other day and I was like, oh man, I really do say fuck too much.
That was a lot. Man, that took me longer to edit your voicemail than it did the whole pissing show.
Yeah, Rab and I are now in an exclusive club of people who have had to edit anything from Josh.
Yeah, it's no easy
it's fun,
task.
isn't it?
Jim can attest too. I remember what I did droning on and I was like, I'm going to do my best, but I'm also going to fail.
You did try. Yeah, you definitely did. I could tell you were holding back sometimes for sure.
I'm like sitting there, I'm just speaking a little bit slower because I'm like, okay, how do I not say fuck, cunt, piss, shit, ass, like any of that stuff
Right.
in the middle of Jim's show.
When you come on droning on, I need you to imagine that you're talking to your girlfriend's grandmother, please.
Oh, perfect.
That's about the level that I'm looking
So I'll
for.
open up with rotten hell, you old bitch. I'm just kidding. No, I'm sure her. I don't think I've met her grandmother, but I'm sure she's a lovely lady. If she's still alive, I should probably know that. That's probably one of those things I should check into. Listeners can review the show on iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts. Please throw a review towards our guests today too on both of their shows. You got the Big Rab show. He's had plenty of hate mail lately, so he could use some positive vibes. And then somebody left a shitty review on Jim's show. Then there's only like 2 reviews, so it's like 50% bad now.
What's that about? Like,
Though I will say this: the person who left the negative review also mentioned in the negative review that they have listened to at least 10 episodes, and so there's part of me that's like, hey, I got someone to listen to.
I've got my biggest fan,
All
and they
right.
think I'm shit.
Yeah, that's right.
It's like, oh no. I highly encourage you to listen to both these programs. We're going to talk a little bit about some behind the scenes of bagpipe podcasting today, since I got both these gentlemen on. You can send us emails and voicemails. You can send Rab pictures of your butt to bigrabshow@gmail.com, or you can send compliments and pictures of naked ladies to chanarant@gmail.com. So there you go. Butthole pics to Rab, naked lady pics to Chanarant, and I don't know, beer recommendations to Jim, maybe?
We did get some butthole pics, though, so that's your fault, man. that butthole thing. Yeah,
we don't know that for
one
sure.
That was winking at us.
Those might have been coming anyway. Those might have come no matter what.
That's true.
I know nothing about what you speak of, Mr. Lennox. I plead the fifth. That I'm not going to self-incriminate. At least I can tell you that none of them were mine. So I'm sure it was all just Rob McCallum and Eric Evenhouse sending you butthole pics. Check out the Chanarant store at chanarant.com. Become a patron. This live stream brought to you by our patrons, patreon.com/Chanarant. Invite. Share with your friends. We only got to make 7 more of these. So, you might as well enjoy them.
There you go.
Gentlemen, how are you all doing? Rab, you're prepping for a show tomorrow.
I am. Yeah, it's the Mid-Ulster Championships tomorrow when we're recording this in Cookstown. So you would know Cookstown well, wouldn't you?
It's a one-road town, man, but it's quite lovely. Pop in and get a beer at the Belfast House. It was the only place that I could get Wi-Fi in the whole fucking place.
Yeah, that's probably we'll have to go to upload stuff.
I was working remote at the time because I had a couple clients. And like nobody knew that I was out of the country. They were just like, "Man, it's weird. I'm getting stuff really fucking early in the morning from Josh." And so I would have to go to the Belfast House. Then there was like one booth, like in the raised part in the back corner, where I could get like almost 1 G of internet.
I know that too. Yeah.
And I'm like sitting there like editing videos and drinking a beer and like drinking my beer and my whiskey, and I'm like just working. And they're like, "What the fuck? Like, you're coming in here every day?" And I was like, "I gotta work. And if I'm at a bar taking up your Wi-Fi and your seats, I might as well have a couple pints while I'm at it."
There you go. Yeah. So
person.
And sticking out.
So that'll be us tomorrow.
Yeah, man. So where do they hold the event in Cookstown? Is it like just on the back of somebody's fucking farm or something, or?
Yeah. Yeah, it's in a high school where there's like playing fields and stuff. It's a big wide open space, so plenty of bands. So yeah, looking forward to it because a lot of bands are taking the opportunity to get a bit of a practice run out, because the following week then is the next major, and there's quite a few bands entered for that. So we're starting to see numbers increase now as the season progresses. There's more and more bands who are now ready to hit the field. So looking forward to Saturday. It'll be interesting.
Yeah, and from some of the videos I saw people were posting from Bangor, it looks like bands did not take a lot of time off. Or did they just get their shit together very quickly?
I think it's a combination of both. People were just mad keen to get back, and as soon as they were able to, they just started practicing like crazy. Like I've heard some bands were practicing every night of the week.
Damn.
Which was nuts. And even especially some of the top flight guys, like I heard FM were putting in like 3-4 hours per night every night. So they're putting in a serious amount of work. So it showed. The band sounded amazing, and fair play to them.
Either that or they just really don't like their families.
There could be that too.
Just want to get out of the house.
After spending a lot of time shut in with them, maybe everyone's just real excited to go anywhere else.
Like, I'm off to the band hall. You were just there yesterday. Bye.
Bye-bye. See ya.
See you later. So what's the plan for coverage on the ground here, Rab? I know that I've been catching up on the show. I know that you got some flack for the Big Rab Show TV thing, which I thought was swinging for the fences, man. I mean, that thing, it's going to be good. It's just, it fucked up the first time. That's okay.
That's it. Yeah, we tried and we failed dismally, but we tried.
There's also nothing that you and your team can do about actually having cell and internet service in an area. Like you're gonna have Shilliday like up a fucking telephone wire with a hard hat, like trying to wire in a satellite or something. Or
yeah, oh, it's crazy. So I don't know. Unless we get a full BBC satellite truck to follow us around, then we're kind of stuck with what we can do. So yeah, the plan is, we're going to do a combination of both pre-recorded and live if we can. So we did a bit of a show there last night covering the Costa Mesa games, that was all pre-recorded. Shout out to Eric Evanhouse, filmed it for us, legend. And that seemed to work pretty well. Clipping between the videos and that, the quality was good. So that may well be the way forward for us in future. But I guess it's something we're just going to continue tweaking at, try and get it to work.
Yeah, so I haven't caught up on the Costa Mesa coverage, but it does kind of bring up an idea that I've also thought about on our end of like, hey, how do we get a crew of people across the world, basically, that are at these events to put their phone on a tripod and then, airdrop the files to Google Drive so we could use them for shit.
That's it. That's exactly what Rab Show TV is. Yeah, we're trying to capture as many competitions internationally, like you say, not just here in the UK, but also US, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, wherever. And we're hoping to capture more in the future. Yeah.
Well, shout out to Eric Evenhouse, not only for capturing some video on the ground, but for, showing up, crushing with the band. Also, keeping people from dying on the highway in the middle of nowhere. I don't know if you guys...
that's an incredible story.
I don't know if you guys saw that post, but a lot of the Wasatch contingent was on their way to the event, came across a gnarly accident, and were able to render aid until, ambulance and fire and stuff got there. So good on you guys. Stop and help people out, especially if you're in the middle of fucking nowhere, like anywhere in Nevada or Utah. If you're in Nevada and Utah, and guess what? You come across an accident, like it's going to be a while before EMS gets there.
Yeah.
You're
their only hope, unless the coyotes know first aid.
Yeah, it's a whole lot of nothing out there. I remember kind of tying it into Cookstown, because the reason that we ended up there was a group of people from Valley Breeze came to Vegas and hit us up and they're like, hey, like we want to come crash a practice and hang out with you guys and we'll go get drinks and whatever. We're like, yeah, cool. And like we hit it off. So like, yeah, we'll come play with you guys. But they were so funny because I think they were in Vegas for like 3 or 4 days. I'm like, yeah, we really want to see like Reno. Like, can we check out Reno while we're in Nevada? Like is it about an hour away? And I'm like, it's about an hour and away by airplane. Like,
it's like driving from one end of the UK to the other.
Yeah. They're like, well, how long would it take us to drive there? I'm like, about 7.5 hours, like easily. It's fucking far.
Wow.
Go through Death Valley and see a whole lot of cool nothing.
Yeah, it's like, it's always explaining to people. I'm like, okay, so you take a state like Nevada or Utah, and you take the entire United Kingdom, Scotland and Ireland included, and you can put about 2 or 3 of them in there, and all that is just empty. There's just nothing out there. Although Australia's got it even worse than us, man. Australia's freaking huge amounts of nothing.
Absolutely. It's something that folks here take for granted about how close everything is. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like, we think, an hour's journey to band practice. Oh, that's terrible. That's so far. Oh, my God. How'd you survive? But you guys have to jump on airplanes to go to band practice.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean? It's crazy to us. And it was so funny. One of the things I love about Cookstown is, especially if you're in Northern Ireland, it's kind of in the middle of everything. So you could do a lot of day trips to like see different places and stuff. And it was always just like, oh, like where we're going to go? It's like, oh, we're going to pop up to Belfast, like, hang out for the day. Oh, okay. How far is that? It's like, it's about a half hour away.
About half an hour away.
But everything's about a half hour away. I'm like, oh, sweet, man. Like, that's fucking convenient.
It's perfect.
So you're prepping for tomorrow. You got your cameras charging. You're ready to rock.
All sitting charging, battery packs, all of that, all sitting here, plugged in.
So what's the logistics look like? Are you going to be on the ground tomorrow, or are you going to be running from the studio?
I am going to be on the ground because I have to double job. I am also capturing stuff for the BBC that day.
Lovely.
So I'm going to be Rab Show stuff, podcast stuff, BBC stuff, live stream, video, blah, blah, blah. Everything that I can try and capture. It'll be fun. So it'll be me. I think Andrew will be there as well. Maybe one other on the team. Because what we try to get now, I don't know if you've seen it from Bangor, but we caught the competition in the circle. That's one thing, and it's okay. Yeah. You get to see competing bands. But Andrew then filmed the folks in the final tuning, and that video seemed to be really popular.
That's really cool.
Folks tuning up, stressing out over chanters. That's where the action is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and, for sure. I'd want to see that for sure, yeah.
Yeah. So Andrew caught a little bit of a video at Bangor, and everyone seemed to love it. And so we're hoping to do something similar again then for Cookstown. So that's the plan.
That's cool.
So,
Jim, where have you gotten out to lately?
Yeah.
I went to Scottsdale a couple weeks ago.
Ooh, for an event, nice. Or just for shits and giggles?
Just for work. Yeah.
You got any events coming up that you're going to try to hit?
Oh, we got our local games starting up here. We'll have the Salt Lake games here pretty soon, and then Payson thereafter. I probably won't go any further than that this year, though.
Yeah, Salt Lake's a fun one. I hear great things, and I haven't been up there. Last time I went to the Salt Lake event was probably 2006, maybe. I was a kid.
Wow. There you go. I have heard about Salt Lake.
Were you 15, 16 years old then?
Yeah, probably, because I remember it was still dry.
Yeah.
It was a dry games, and so you'd be walking around the tents, and everyone would be like,
I see what you mean. Yeah,
people would be like handing around their flasks, and like I remember one group had one of their drum cases. They managed to hide a keg in it.
Oh, really? Yeah.
So they're just like,
that has been blamed. I've heard that blamed as like the reason why Utah has had such a tribal mentality between pipe bands in the past, is that we haven't been allowed to have a beer tent.
I could see that, yeah, because I mean the beer tent's where all the sesh goes. That's when you get to hang out after you compete and make friends.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah. I tried once a few years ago to set up a popsicle tent, but it just doesn't have the same draw.
It doesn't have the same effect.
Nope.
Depending on the weather, some of those pipers, depending on how hot it is, some of those pipers might be using the popsicles in other ways. Lower the old core temp down a bit,
Yeah.
Rab, do a lot of people shove popsicles up their ass at your events, or no?
Oh, nah, can't say we've ever tried that. It's freaking cold enough without that. Yeah. But would there be many bands compete at Salt Lake? I have heard reports about it. It's quite a good comp. Is there many bands at it?
Yeah, I mean, even if you've only got the local bands, you're going to have a half dozen. So then if we get a few more coming in from the surrounding states, yeah, you end up with plenty to fill a couple days for sure.
That's a big thing, too. Cool. It's a bit of a scoot. I mean, even from here, you're looking at a good 9 hours.
That is the hard thing. So I say surrounding states, that means we can maybe pull a band or two each from like Colorado, maybe Nevada, Arizona, sometimes a band or two from California.
Yeah, I mean, it's absolutely gorgeous. So it's definitely worth a trip because Salt Lake rocks. Mormon country gets a bad rap, but Salt Lake doesn't really count, man. Salt Lake's just a city.
Yeah, locally we know that it's like Babylon. Like Salt Lake is the dirty place in the middle, right?
Yeah, exactly.
The Utah County, that's where it's safe.
But yeah, man, it's weird. It's such a weird. I'm glad that events are coming back up. I think that we're facing a little bit of struggle here in the States. I know I am with like trying to get out to stuff because one, everything's far. You got to work. Gas is expensive. Flights are expensive. Accommodations are expensive. It's like, man, you could drop easily $1,000 going to one of these things.
Without question, I think that even the cost of everything, Josh, even in the UK here, it's went up. Because fuel prices, all of that, all went through the roof. So I would have been booking travel and stuff for a competition in 2019. It would have been X amount of pounds. But now it seems to be like almost 2 or 3 times that now. I don't know what happens.
That's across the board. We saw that with organizing our event here. Just price of everything. Price of everything went up. I mean, and like infrastructure stuff. We need fence in the place. We need generators to run the stage and sound. And everyone's just like, yeah, like it's going to be double. And you're like, what? How's it double?
Yeah.
You haven't done anything. You haven't done any events for 2 years. Like, are you gonna try to make it up on me in 1 year?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of that. A lot of companies are trying to gain back some ground that they lost, and as a result, the prices have just went through the roof. I'm
fairly excited. I think what very likely is going to be my only competition event this year is I'm going to Chicago.
Oh, nice.
So I'm very excited about that. I've never been to the Chicago games. I hear amazing things, and I hear that there's just going to be an absolutely bonkers number of bands in attendance. I was talking to Beer Boy. I'm actually going to be going to play with his band. Just grade 5 ringer status. And
the Oklahoma Fire guys?
Yeah, Oklahoma Fire.
Guys?
And he's like, I think there's like 15 grade 5 bands. I'm like, holy shit.
Wow,
that's a big grade.
Yeah,
holy crap!
So there's gonna be service band central, man. You can see a lot of fucking yellow flashes out there.
Nice,
but it's gonna be nice because
that's like a
and it's central.
That's on par with some of the majors we have here.
I mean, it's central enough to where I'm gonna get to see a lot of people that I don't normally see because they're on the East Coast. So like I'll see the Chicago band boys. I'll probably see the Wake boys.
Yeah.
So
that's enough.
Fantastic.
I wonder if the administrators might decide to split the competition in half and have 2 sets of awards.
Yeah, I'm really curious. I hear great things about the Chicago games, so I'm kind of in. I've got like 4 hats I got to wear, right? Because I got to play, and I'm only going to be there Saturday. I don't think I'm going to be there Sunday because there's only grade 5 contest on Saturday, so it's just one day only for grade 5. And I'm just like, okay, so I got to go play. I got to do some kind of chanter rant video. You know how we do the travel videos of just us being jackasses when we're out and about.
Those are brilliant, by the way.
So I got to do something like that. I got to record all the contests for my audition tape for Big Rab Show TV, obviously. And then,
hey, yes.
But I'm also kind of interested in seeing if I can score some time with some of the organizers and just shoot the shit. Because one of the things I notice is organizers don't really talk to each other that much, which is kind of crazy to me. Because most of the time we're all volunteers, and they're massive events to try to put on. So you would think sharing best practices would be a priority.
Yeah, for sure.
But everybody plays it close to the chest. Not to shit talk another event terribly, because I try not to punch down on people. But I remember one year right after Vegas, like the weekend after, I went to Woodland Games here in Sacramento, right outside of Sacramento. Because I had some friends that were playing in bands there, like in the performing main stage bands, and I was like, I could use a little bit of a vacay, and I hear good things about it. I'm gonna go check it out. I'm just gonna drive down. I took a tent for the Vegas games, so we didn't even have our dates for the next year yet. We just held the event the weekend before, and they were like kind of mean. They were kind of rude, and they're like, "Well, I don't know what you're doing here. Like, you're here to steal our vendors and clans for your event, and blah blah blah." And I'm like,
"Oh." Really?
I'm like, dude,
because they can't do both events. You know that once a vendor or a clan has done one event, they don't do any more for the rest.
Yeah,
of the year.
Exactly. They definitely don't travel all around every event like fucking carnies. Like, I'm just like, I was like, nah, man. Like, I'm just here to hang out. Like, I don't have flyers. I don't have dates for my event. Like, I'm just hanging out. I'm like, you do realize that we're not in competition with each other, like, at all. Like, unless we're on the same weekend, and even then, we're not really competing for anything except for maybe like pipe bands.
Yeah.
Because like all the people, I'm like,
point in that though.
I'm like all the people that make me enough money at the event to do it again are paying $20 at the gate to get in, and they all live in Las Vegas already. Like nobody's driving from Sacramento 7 hours to Las Vegas to come to my Highland Games unless they're a competitor.
Yeah, that's it.
Joe Schmo trying to take his kids out for the day ain't gonna make that trip.
Right. Yeah. The attitude that there's a limited amount of success in the world seems to be.
Yeah, and it's crazy. And then you get some. I mean, like a lot of the SoCal organizers are really cool because they'll, if they find out we're coming to one of their events, they'll be, oh, like we should, hang out and like get a drink and like talk shop for a bit. I'm like, yeah, like no worries. I have no secrets. By the time you're able to emulate something that I'm doing successfully, I've already come up with a different way to do it. So like there's
they're from SoCal, so they're cool.
Might as well spread the knowledge and spread the love, man. Rising tide helps all ships.
Absolutely. Like it's the same could be said for the piping scene. Other bands help other bands. Other associations help other associations. It makes sense that events help each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Bands are great. Bands are great about it because bands will be like from like the first tuning stage up until they're walking out of the circle and they finish their set, they're gonna be like, "We're gonna kill all you motherfuckers! Like you're going down." and so there's like 20 to 30 minutes of the entire event where we're like, "All right, we're gonna kill each other," and then the rest of the time we're like, "How'd you do, man?"
Yeah, best man.
Like, do you need me to hold your water? Like, are you good? Did you guys get? Do you need me to send you the pictures I got?
Mm-hmm. That's one thing I took from Stone Mountain. I've never seen it happen here in the UK. But there was a band, I can't remember who it was, they were tuning up, and this guy was having serious problems with his bottom hand, his chanter was off. Ooh. And no matter what he did, it just wouldn't fix. And I seen a guy going, he took his own chanter out, he ran over and says, "Here, play mine."
Yep.
And two different bands.
Oh, I bet the pipe major loved that.
My head was blown, man. I had to, I don't know, I was nudging Winston beside me, the guy I was with. I said, that guy just gave that guy his chanter, and he just walked into the circle and played it. And the pair of us stood there just
flabbergasted,
completely amazed.
And then he took it out, and before he handed it back, just took the reed and just bit it in half.
Bit it.
Thanks for the help, chump. See you in last.
It's incredible to see such support between bands, though. Do you know what I mean?
And the amazing support between bagpiping podcasts, obviously.
Obviously. Really,
obviously.
In so many ways, we are leading the way toward world peace here today. Let's just congratulate each other right now.
I would just like it to go on the record, too, for if somebody asks me later, hey, why aren't the Up to the Line guys on this? I didn't invite them.
I thought you were going to say because we're looking for them. The police have been notified.
Yeah, they've disappeared.
We're doing all we can.
No, we definitely got to try to get the, God, what do we call it? The big Grace Note rant? Try to get that going again.
Oh, yeah, we'll have to.
That's the only reason that I started my podcast. In fact, now that I've joined
you wanted that invite.
I'm going to shut it down today. This is what I've been going for all along. So
when is the
mission accomplished?
That's the next question. When is the end, guys? When are we done? When have we beaten this horse to death? I mean, Rab, I think you're going to be doing like episode 1000. You're going to be 90 years old, and there'll be a hologram
at the moment, man.
It'll be a hologram Big Rab show.
do the Futurama style Rab's head in a fish tank.
Just a head in a jar. Yeah, that'll be me.
100 years from now.
Well, I think that as far as longevity, because I've thought about this obviously with our show even, as far as longevity is concerned, I think Rab's got a bit of an advantage because the format, right? Like the format is very news updates. As long as there's shit going on. I mean, you were kind of fucked for like 2 years.
2 years was a bit of a pull.
I still made good shows during that time though.
Yeah, I mean,
got some real good interviews. Yeah,
yeah, that was 2 years of every bagpiping with no events of every bagpiping podcaster just being like, how far up my asshole can I reach to pull out a show today? Because I got
today there was a few meetings. Brainstorming ideas, right, guys? Anybody, anything at all here we can bring this week? Yeah.
What have you guys been watching on Netflix?
Exactly. There was moments like that. Yeah. Did you see the latest Marvel movie? Was there a Piper in it? I don't know.
Now, see, and I also think that there's some interesting, like, one, I think Rab's got longevity due to being very much immersed because you're right there. You know, it's on your back door, and there's piping shit every fucking week. Where you're at.
True.
For us, I think we face a few more issues with like coverage of events because one, you just can't fucking afford to go to everything. Everything's too goddamn far away.
That's it. Yeah.
I mean, the Patreon helps with that a little bit. Like that was the whole impetus behind us starting the Patreon account was so that we could, occasionally afford a Spirit Airlines flight to go make a shitty video about an event.
There you go.
We're flying with I've got my like kilts, wearing my kilts underneath all my other clothes because I couldn't afford to get a carry-on.
You couldn't check a bag.
Yeah,
so
they're charging you for like the oxygen mask deploys, and then you have to like put a quarter in to use it.
Right.
Prison bus of the good old Allegiant, the prison bus of the sky.
Yeah, I always bring my own bag of oxygen just in case.
Just in case. Yeah, you never know. What's that Ziploc bag? Don't worry about it. I saw the fucking thing, and it kind of blew my mind. I think it was at like Walgreens here in town. I was like going to get like a Monster or something because I have a huge caffeine addiction, and they had oxygen, like a little spray oxygen thing at the Walgreens.
Yeah, dude.
And I'm like,
what? That
is so sus to me. Like, because even
spray air.
Yeah, because like when you got to be really careful. Like if it's not medical grade, you're gonna fuck yourself up. Like there's
you
a big.
Ever see Spaceballs? You remember Spaceballs?
Yeah.
Cracking the cans of air.
Yeah, like it's kind of like that. I'm like, is it for? I'm assuming it's for like hungover people because it's Vegas, right? So everything in the drugstore is for hangovers here. I don't know if you do this, Rab. No. We actually have a burgeoning side industry, especially like down towards the Strip, where like a lot of the big casino hotels are, where they'll come by in like a bus, like a party bus, to pick you up, and they'll freaking put an oxygen mask on you and run an IV on you to like cure your hangover.
No,
true story.
Wow. That's another level there.
Yeah, it's like if you need fluids, if you need intravenous fluids, you may have gone a little too hard the night before.
I was just about to say, you have to be pretty desperate to want to do that. Here, it's just like it's copious amounts of fried food. Yeah.
They just need cholesterol medication.
Right. Buses that'll pump your stomach and pull some lipo or something on you.
Here's your fried chippy, and here's your blood thinners. Enjoy. So I'm just saying, if we're getting out of the podcast business, guys, and we're trying to get into some kind of profitable scheme, all we got to do is set up tents at the Highland Games on Sunday.
With IVs,
yeah.
Perfect.
Like here's your IV, and here's tents. Your. I mean, could you imagine if you had one of those tents up for the Friday morning after Thursday at Todd's Bar at the Worlds?
Oh man, it'd be ram-packed.
You'd make a killing.
You would, absolutely. Yeah, the Friday at the Worlds is supposed to be the most important, but it's also the day where everyone's dying.
Everyone's in pain.
You could pre-sell package deals to bands who want to clean up their players before they go into the circle. All right, here's your half-hour slot.
Yes, we've got the official Big Rab Show sponsored Unfuck Yourself tent at the World Pipe Band Championships. It offers oxygen, liquid IV. You have IVs hung to get you hydrated again. The tenor drummers will have Plan B there that you can buy because you probably you probably didn't use correct protection the night before.
Oh, yeah.
This is perfect, man. It's like, is this the first aid tent? Well, sort of. It sort of is.
Kind of bit more important.
Oh no! The Friday at the World Championships, there's just so many sullen-looking people. Even if the sun's shining, there's just so many people like dying.
I was bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. I got a good night's sleep.
Really?
I had a little breakfast.
Wow,
clean living, huh?
No, man, we've been out, but I was freaking done. I was so tired. And so, we went out to a couple bars, super sketchy Glasgow bars. So we did Todd's, and then we were, walking around, me and some of the Breest, basically just apparently trying to get ourselves stat.
Oh, great. Yeah.
So I got back to... I lost Fusco. Fusco was gone. He absconded to some dorm room to take his pants off.
Oh, right. I remember that story. Yeah.
Remember the story?
I lost him, and I was like, nah, he'll be fine. Not thinking about the fact that we're in a strange city, and he's got the navigational ability... maybe only superior to MLK. Because MLK can get lost in a fucking parking lot. she could get lost in her own house.
Oh, poor MLK.
But yeah, Fusco. So I get in. I'm like, oh well, it's like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. He's not home yet. But I'm just gonna had some beer in the room, had a quick beer, watched some TV, went to bed, got up, got showered. Got my uniform all ready to go. I'm like, I'm gonna look nice today. I'm gonna look good and sound good.
You're all set.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then I think we were literally getting on the bus when we see his ass running down the street towards the hotel, and Jason just looking at him like, I'm gonna fucking kill you.
That's it. But Thursday night's party night, because everyone tries to stay sensible on Friday because Saturday's the main finals day.
Yeah.
So Friday it's the day when you're hanging like a bat.
Yeah, I think Friday all we did, because we were 3A or 3B, I don't remember, but we were grade 3, so we didn't have to compete. We were doing practice on Friday, and then we go to watch the grade 1s do the qualifiers.
Yeah.
That's super fun watching those guys. Those guys you do not see out on Thursday.
No, not at all.
Because they would be absolutely murdered.
Yeah. So no, that's it. They stay pretty sensible. Yeah, and then hit the field on Friday. And I don't know how I'm going to feel about stepping out onto that grass this year in the Worlds. I was emotional at Bangor. I was like a big Jesse or whatever. But hearing those bands again, man, honestly, it was emotional. And I'm thinking, am I going to be able to handle Glasgow? If I go to the Worlds and...
Yeah, take a pack of tissues with you along with all your other stuff.
I think so.
In case you start crying. Huh?
It's going to be something else.
I want someone to send me when they catch the crying Rab. We're making that into a meme.
Yeah. That's the challenge.
The crying Rab meme, for sure. So, Rab, You've had
sir.
some interest, and I'm only picking on Rab because I have to catch up on droning on a bit. I'm a bit behind there, buddy. But
I'm not offended.
You got some friggin' hate mail that you were talking about. I know you're going to probably mention it on your show, but if you want to be able to talk about it while saying fuck, here's an opportunity.
We have had some, to put it politely, some fucking idiots emailing us over the past 3 or 4 weeks over the duration of the show. Now, I've learned over the years to call it the duration of the show, because if I call it the length, then Josh, he clips it and then uses it in the show.
You know I will, too.
Yeah.
Hey, but look on the bright side. All of the women that Rab has been with did not have to complain about the duration. You know what I'm saying?
There you go. Never had any complaints. But yeah, there's been some folks saying there's not enough news stories. Some people saying there's way too many. Rab, shut up. We want to get to the topic. I know Fusco himself famously fast forwards through all the news and stuff and gets to the topic.
That's the thing that I can never understand, Rab. Like, why are these people complaining about getting more of what they love? And do they not understand that there are multiple options 100% within their own control to fast forward, play it at double time, pause it and come back to it later? Like, you can do this by yourself. Yeah, you don't have to have Rab Taylor make the show just for you.
I know. Yeah. Do you know what the guys in the team do to kind of take the piss out of me some weeks is they play it at half speed and I sound really drunk.
You can do that on YouTube videos too. It's really funny.
It's funny as hell. So yeah, they send me clips of it every now and again. Rob, are you drinking this week? I said, no. And then they play it at half speed. So, but yeah, that's it. We've got hate for it being too long, something not and too short. You can clip that, Josh. So yeah, we're getting complaints about missing stories out, and then we're getting complaints because there's too many stories in it, and.
So you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. Yeah. See, you gotta do like us, man. Just don't try.
Yeah, it's gonna get to that point where there'll be a podcast going, right, you bloody do it then.
Yeah, we used to get those, especially early on in the Chain of Rant days, before we'd kind of established the tone of like, we don't give a shit what you think. Like, we'd get a lot of people with, like, suggestions, and I would just be like, nah, go fuck yourself. And they'd be like, oh, yeah. What? I was like, nah, well, I'm good.
That's because, anybody who is going to write to you and say, here's how you should do your thing, is used to doing that. Like, at every restaurant they go to, at every department store they go to, they write a review, right? And they assume that people are getting that and reading it going, oh my goodness, what excellent feedback. Let's change our entire company policy based on what this person says, right? And so then if you respond to them like that, it's shocking. It's shocking.
We
already know what you want to do.
We get that with the event a lot too, because I deal with a lot of the customer service stuff for the event. And like, one of the things I often tell people, and the thing that always fucking shuts people down immediately, is they'll be like, well, I just think it would be better if we did blah, 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 blah at the Highland Games. And I'm like, that's a great idea. You should volunteer.
That's a good one.
And like, well, I just message unsent, and I'm like, yeah, that's what I thought, motherfucker. Like, welcome to the party, pal.
We got a lot of comments
about how hot it is.
No,
hot, yeah.
The only times we've gotten heat complaints, and this is the funniest fucking thing in the world. So we used to travel more with like our promo tent to like make sure people knew the dates and like talk to the bands and just like, hey, like we're doing the event. Here's the dates. Back before we were more a tech savvy organization. So we'd like put the tent up in like Arizona events or California events, hand out flyers. And without fail, every time that we went to Pleasanton, California, which is it's Labor Day weekend, people would come up to our tent. Mind you, the Pleasanton Highland Games, it's like 110 fucking degrees every year. It is brutal.
Yeah.
And so we're all sitting there dying, and the bands are dying, and everyone's fucking dying in the sun. And they'll be like, Highland Games in Vegas in April, but isn't it hot? Like, no, not compared to this. Are you kidding me? It's going to be like 80 degrees.
It's like dry.
Yeah, it's like I'm from the desert, and I'm sweating my dick off here right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, nobody complains about hot, but there's always something. They're like, oh, I didn't know I couldn't bring my dog. And it's like, yes, you did. Like, come on. This is not going to work on me. But with the podcast, it's a little nicer because we're not a you have to put on a different kind of customer service tone when you're the head of the 501c3 that's running the event, because it's a little more public.
Yeah.
The podcast, you can just tell people to go fuck themselves. We don't negotiate with terrorists here. Are you kidding me? We are the terror.
There you go. Yeah. There has been occasion where people have suggested interviews and said, Rob, can you go and interview this guy? I said, yeah, great. Send him an email, tell him we want to talk to him, and then you can do the groundwork and line it up for us. And of course, nothing ever happens. Never ever comes back. And then also, recently, obviously, now we've started filming things. The common complaints, oh, you didn't film my wee Jimmy. He was playing in this band. Da, 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 da. And we're like, right, we've got one guy, one camera.
Exactly.
If you want to help us film wee Jimmy, then go for it.
Yeah, we cannot be everywhere at once. I don't know if people realize this, but we're all not being paid, and often we are paying to be here.
Absolutely, yeah. I've had to book tickets for all the events.
Yeah,
it's just as if. Yeah,
well, even when you look at something like covering, so let's say we have a little bit less of a challenge if we're covering piping contests, right? Because they're all going to go back to back to back to back to back to back. Still, you're standing out in the freaking sun for 4 hours recording. I mean, there's a lot of bands at these things. Most piping contests run 2-3 hours at minimum. And then simultaneously, while the pipe, I mean, you guys have a little bit more of a problem.
Yeah, I'd say tomorrow.
But yeah, you guys have a little bit more of a problem over there because there's multiple grades competing simultaneously often, and drum majors competing simultaneously.
Yeah.
Like, at least for us, because
all at one time.
Because of the it's kind of cost prohibitive to do that, because you have to have so many judges, and judges are just damn expensive, man. I mean, they're worth it, but they're expensive. So a lot of the events in the States, they're not going to do everything at once. The only thing that they may have pipe band running at the same time as drum majors sometimes, but a lot of the times it's going to be all your soloists in the morning, mass bands, all of your bands in the afternoon, mass bands, you're done. So in theory, one dude with a camera can get almost all of it.
Yeah, at one arena. Yeah. Well, that's it. In Cookstown, we've got 3, I think, this weekend, plus drum majors. So we've got 3 different rings going all at one time from about 11 a.m. through to about 5-6 p.m., something like that.
Yeah. So even if you have all the cameras, you still need somebody to stand there. That's
it, man. Indeed. And, the call of nature does eventually happen, and you're not going to stand there and just piss in your shoes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. So if you're listening to this and if you're writing into Rab bitching that he didn't cover Wee Jimmy, you should become a Patreon on Rab's. Then throw them some cash so they can buy more gear.
There you go.
We're gonna get you guys all kitted up. Have like your little GoPros. We'll get you like your little in-ear radios and like.
Wouldn't that be good?
This is Big Dick Player to Golden Eagle. Golden Eagle, are you on the 3rd arena? Grade 3s are starting in 5, Big Dick Player.
There's a problem at the Portaloo. We need bog rolls. Stat.
Fusco had Indian last night. He's locked the door.
I'm still hearing that story, about Mora, about whenever he had the emergency situation, let's say.
It was pretty funny. So, I'm excited. I'm very excited for Chicago, because that's might be the only fucking thing I do this year.
Am I remembering right, Josh? That's where your girlfriend's from? Does your girlfriend have family in Chicago or something?
Yep. So we're going to do the games. I'm going to be rolling with the OK Fireboys Friday so we can get like rehearsal and get shit calibrated and all that. And then I don't want her and her family have to get to the games at fucking 9 o'clock in the morning. Like, you can just show up at a leisurely pace. Like, I'll roll with them, get there, do the whole day Saturday, and then then I'm gonna go freaking rage in Chicago Saturday night with her cousins and stuff.
Josh, nice. Not that you need more to add to your Chicago trip, but you remember Eamon, the guy who made like the Toto Africa bagpipe cover?
Yeah.
Like that?
Oh yeah.
So I did an interview with him. He lives in Chicago now.
Ooh, I wonder if he's gonna be at the event.
He may well be, because he just started playing with an Irish pipe band there in Chicago. So
I'm gonna reach out. I'm gonna reach out to him. I might have to. I'll hit you up after to get his contact info, because that guy seems hilarious. I haven't listened to the episode yet either, but he seemed really cool.
He's a very cool guy. Oh, actually, that reminds me, Rab. He's got a beef to pick with you about your idea where the taters, what is it, onion and cheese chips taste best from, or something like that.
Oh yeah, the tato, tato crisps. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a bit of a common.
I kind of lived off those for a little while. They
are kind of. Yeah. I have to agree. It's maybe one of the only edible things here.
Yeah, it's like many a Tesco trip just to get Tato's and Guinness.
Yeah. Which was a staple diet.
It was always difficult because we stood out.
Both. Deep fry both.
You immediately stand out as an American in Northern Ireland or in Scotland when as I was just ordering Guinness and whiskey, and I'm like, oh, this is what I like to drink. I'm assuming everyone likes to. No, they all like fruity cocktails and shit. Everybody's like, oh, can I get a gin fizz?
Strange, I'm like, what? That's a bit of a new... Yeah. Weird. I don't know. I've been drinking Guinness since I was probably the age I shouldn't have been drinking Guinness, but there you go.
Yeah,
I was an old man before my time, I suppose.
That's surprising to me. As a person who's not super plugged into drinking culture anyway, still, it seems to me like spirits and Guinness should be the only potable liquid in Ireland, right? Even the water's questionable, right?
Yeah.
I did buy bottled water. Well, that's why tea's so popular, right? Because you boil the water beforehand, so you're less likely to get dysentery. or you drink the Guinness to harden everything in the stomach up, so you don't have just absolute liquid diarrhea. Just binding it all together.
Cut. Turf. Yep.
Well, boys, I gotta say, this has been a goddamn hoot. I love catching up with you guys, and I don't feel like we talk enough.
No, absolutely, Josh.
What happened to us?
What happened to us, guys?
That's it. Well, you guys are thundering towards, is it episode 200 now you're heading towards?
Yeah, so we have, this is, when this comes out in 2 months, it will be episode 193.
Wow.
So we're 7 episodes away, and we have been working on that. Luckily we don't have a big team, unfortunately. It's mostly just me and Sco, but we do have MLK helping us out, and we're looking at doing something stupid because it's us.
Nice.
So
of course it has to be
less.
Yeah, so we're trying to get a date locked down, probably in July is what we're looking at. And if we're actually at 200 by then, we'll see. But the current tentative plan is we're going to invite kind of everybody that's close to come down. We're going to get like an Airbnb party house and with a pool, and probably record from there, and then just do dumb shit. It's gonna be biblical. And not the good parts, not the wholesome parts
Sodom
of the Bible.
And Gomorrah.
Yeah, it's gonna be those parts. It's gonna be the parts of the Bible. It's gonna be the parts of the Bible where
so many people
they tell you that you can't eat fish, but you can go ahead and fuck your cousins.
Early Old Testament kind of biblical.
Yeah. There you go. You have to bring back Fast Eddie, Cahill's Corner. You have to bring back the Dominatrix as well.
Yeah,
she was awesome.
They're going to probably be there. And then we're probably going to put some calls out to... We're going to try to get people to send us little happy episode 200 stuff. We'll put together some kind of a montage.
Yeah. Shop callers for everyone.
Everybody...
Shop callers
absolutely.
At the door.
Yeah. Well, yeah, so it'll be like a swingers party where you don't know who has your remote.
There you go.
Oh, it could be so good.
At the risk of being one of those guys who writes in to tell you what to do, Josh, if you take episode 200 and release it in a series of 30-second clips, you could immediately overtake the Big Rab show and hit 300 before they do.
That's true. Yeah,
there you go.
It's probably going to be like a 3-hour show. Well, and our episode 100 was such a clusterfuck. I mean, in the best way. Like, it was crazy amounts of fun.
It was great, though. Yeah.
But it was such a clusterfuck. Like, one, we made, especially me more than Fusco, made the tactical error of showing up to the venue to start setting up all the AV stuff. Barely fucking intoxicated. I had like a long night the night before because we had people in town, and I was like, all right, like I'm kind of hanging. I'm gonna have a couple bevs this morning to like unfuck myself before I have to do this show. And by the time we get to the venue, I'm like, so I think I can figure out how to hook everything up, but I'm definitely drunk. And we were like supposed to open the show like bagpiping in, and like I'm like trying to tune my pipes and stuff, and Fusco's looking at me. I was like, I'm fucked. Like there's no way. I was like, I just need my sunglasses and a microphone. That's gonna be about the extent of what I can do today. So this time around, I'm gonna try to not be drunk before the show starts. But yeah, we got some bits planned. Yep. Once Fusco's no longer deathly ill, we'll get back to planning, and we're gonna try to let everybody know with enough lead time to where, like, if any of the people that came for Celtic Thanksgiving, if they want to come down and hang out, because I don't know if we're gonna get to do a concert again this year, because I said we don't have a lot of players, so this might be a good time to get people to come hang out, and we'll drink some beers and trash an Airbnb and go bankrupt, and then move on. There will be correspondence on other shows. We'll do Chanarant once a year.
There you go. So, Jim, what about yourself, mate? Have you got anything planned then for the future for your own pod, man?
Oh, just still talking to nice people. That's really it. The pace at which I'm moving, I think I wouldn't hit triple digit episodes for another like 2 years. So I'm taking it nice and easy.
You will.
Yeah, how does your production schedule go? Or is it just kind of like whenever you feel like it and you got somebody interesting to talk to? Or
I tend to do it in batches, partly because I just wanted to keep it manageable, so I'll have a run for 5 weeks in a row where I'm interviewing 1 or 2 people per Saturday, and then I edit it all in a batch as well, and just line it up for future releases. So then, like, it helps. It helps because, I'm sure you guys both can relate to this, that like after you've done a few weekends or a few shows, you kind of start to get sick of it and it feels like a chore,
Yep. So every week.
It sets it up in like, so yeah, like I have a lot of sympathy for you, Rab. So the way that I've got it set up, it's very cyclical. So I get a break from interviews and I do a bunch of post work, and then I get sick of post work and I'm excited for interviews again, and I do interviews. So it ends up kind of in matches like that.
I do work on a similar cycle, but mine just goes a hell of a lot quicker. I interview Friday, Saturday. I edit Monday, Tuesday, pod on the Wednesday, prep on Thursday, interview Friday, Saturday. Just keeps going around in that big circle.
Well, you're doing more than one show. I mean, that's another thing that I don't know that people fully realize is you're doing the Fuse show as well.
That's true. Yeah, we're doing 2 hours worth of live radio every week. Sometimes it's great, sometimes it's not so great, but it works.
Yeah, we
and then I've got the
vacillate.
BBC as well, so
we go back and forth on
it's all go.
An intense production schedule, and then like, oh fuck, we haven't done anything in like 3 weeks. Shit.
Yeah.
I've imagined before, Rab, that you might like get home for dinner and just like have like a crude kind of sign language that you use because you're so sick of talking because you talk all day for work. Just be like, I'm done speaking. I'm not going to use this anymore.
I did get to the point where I was talking about bands and pipers and all that sort of stuff in the house all the time. And my missus now has this, right, I'm allowing you maybe a couple of hours of it to get it out of your head. But after that, shut the hell up and let's talk about something else.
Yeah, I get that with game stuff.
Yeah, we don't need to know who has an album out this week, Rab. So
well, gentlemen, I very much appreciate y'all taking the time. I would like to give either or both of you the last word. You want to start, Jim?
Here's to doing whatever we want for a really long time, forever. Yay!
I like that. That's perfect there. Yeah. So now, if anything, for me, I think it's just magical that we have the music back again. And as much as I am a big Jesse about getting emotional about it, it is an emotional thing because we've had 2 years of feck all, and now it's all back. It's nearly overwhelming, So get out there and enjoy it, folks.
Fantastic. And to close, since they're in the chat right now, we're going to do a quick final round of Marry, Fuck, Kill.
Oh, yes.
The options, based on the chat,
here we go,
are Cobra, a.k.a. Hoineke, Eric Evenhouse,
Legend.
the spooky clown, or our very own Beer Boy Brad.
Oh, Brad. He gives amazing hugs, though.
He might do more than hug you.
Yeah, I'm going to need to think about this. Sorry, we're starting with me, are we? I just kind of started talking.
Who's ready?
Sorry.
Who's ready to go?
I'm ready already.
Oh, Jimbo's ready.
I know
Go, Jim. Go.
For me, it would definitely be Eric number one because he's got a lifetime of fun in him.
Oh, so you can marry Eric. Okay.
Yep. Then Beer Boy Brad because I know he would know what he's doing.
There you go.
I trust him.
Okay, smart. Oh, man. Oh, poor Hoineke.
Yeah, sorry, Andrew, but I don't know him personally, and so like.
I think
Sorry,
this is
I'm
fair.
shrugging. This is radio. I should make
It's
my
a visual
shrug.
gag on the radio.
I'm doing the Jim Halpert shrug.
Just Jim in the camera.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, Rabby, you've had some time.
All right. I would marry Brad because I know his hugs are just amazing, and I won't ever want to say cheerio to those. I'd probably F Eric, if I'm honest.
Okay.
I think he'd be a tender lover.
Okay,
You know?
I can see that.
And unfortunately, I know, Cobra, you're way too talented, man, so you have to go. So
I'm just
just the
gonna,
only reason.
for the sake of diversity, and I'll explain. I'm also gonna marry Beer Boy, obviously.
yes.
Beer Boy's in the chat. He says this very fuck, marry, kill is Bear Central. Yes, this is true. I'm gonna marry Beer Boy. I think we could have a nice, happy life together. I'm gonna go ahead and bang Hoineke here. Because I think
right.
the man he can't die in every one here. He's not the black guy in a horror movie.
So this is more out of sympathy than anything else.
It's a sympathy
You
fuck.
don't want him to die. And you don't want him to
He's getting a sympathy fuck. But it also and this does mean I'm killing Eric, but I've almost killed Eric before, quite unintentionally. So I don't feel like he would take it personally because when they came down for the Celtic Thanksgiving concert, we had a little shindig at my house the night before the show, and he very nearly died. From
what happened?
Although I would say that's
What
a
did you
mix.
do?
It's not just me. Bethia also tried to kill him. So yeah,
Well, the good news there is even on the other side, he could still do his ghost podcast.
Exactly.
So
it's the ultimate.
Exactly.
It's the
Never
ultimate
thought of
role. He got so into ghost podcasting that he decided to become a
he
ghost.
became a ghost.
Become one.
That's fucking dedication right there, guys. But that's what I'd go with. Yeah, no, we had a little party here, and of course, being the fools that we are, we did it the night before the Celtic Thanksgiving concert, and people were hurting. Like we're at the venue, like people are throwing up in the parking lot, like before we even do sound check. Thea's on the floor. Like Eric didn't think he was going to make it. He's like I was throwing up till like 3 a.m. I honestly thought I was going to have to cancel.
Oh, wow. Oh, poor guy.
Fusco was dead. Fusco had to practice. Both Fusco and Isla were like trying to rehearse the duet bit they did, which I think we'll have videos coming out on that as soon as I get done editing them. And both of them looked like they were like he's playing pipes and she was playing guitar for a bit that they were working on for the show. And this was during rehearsal the day of. And they were green. I thought they were both going to throw up on the stage. And I had my camera. I was watching them rehearse, and I'm like, oh my god, they're gonna fucking throw up on the stage during sound check. I have to capture this. This is gonna be, and I was hurting too, but I was a little better off than everybody else. I was hurting pretty bad, but I just like sucked down some coffee and got it over with. But yeah, I'm just like sitting there, I'm like, oh my god, if we're editing a vlog out of the Celtic Thanksgiving stuff, and I get them throwing up on the stage, I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna be laughing so hard. I'll be on the floor right next to them, and it'll be, and then it'll just be like, quick, clean it up before the library. But gentlemen, I want to thank you very much for taking time out of your evening or midday for Jimbo there. Thanks for hanging out with me, guys. I adore you both. I can't wait to see you again in person. I'm going to try to make it up to Monterey. If you guys don't know, Rabby and the team are heading to the Monterey Highland Games. That's in late July, I believe.
Yeah, we are indeed. The Monterey Games. Looking forward to that, actually.
It's a bit of a scoot, but it'll be good fun.
Yeah.
Plus, it's a lot closer to go see you in California than it is to see you in North Maryland.
That's fair. Sure. That's true. Yes.
Although with the gas, it might cost as much for gas as it does the plane ticket.
That's right. Yeah.
That's true, man. Yeah.
Anybody listening to this show, thank you very much for tuning in to episode 193 of the Chan Rant Podcast. Give both of these guys a shout and a follow. Check out their shows. They're both fantastic. I listen to them all the time. It's the only way that I can pretend to know what's happening in the piping world. Because let's be real, I'm not paying attention most of the time, or I'm drunk. So, cheers, everyone.
Thanks for having us on, man.
Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, thanks, man.
And with that, I'm going to go ahead and play us out.